Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm sharing with you guys my opening and ending reaction to Frieren Season 2 opening and ending. So this is being recorded after the fact. I've already recorded the entire episode. I finished hitting record and everything, and I realized I never recorded an intro for the opening and ending. So I'm doing this now, and because I've already recorded this after, I just wanted to share something. I did forget one little thing, and it's really bothered me, but it's not a big deal. I forgot to position my camera, my webcam centered so that I was in the center again while I was analyzing the opening and ending. So I'm kind of like shoved all the way to the corner, which, you know, generally when I'm analyzing these things by myself, I tend to position myself in the center again. But I forgot to do that. It's not a big deal. I was still able to check out the opening and ending. I was still able to analyze. I feel like I talked forever during that, so this might be a very long video. My chest hurts, my throat hurts. I talked so much today about Frieren, but I couldn't ask for a better series to hurt my throat and chest over, because I'm so glad that we're back. This is such an incredible series, so special to me, and I hope that you guys are ready for more to come. I hope that you guys are excited with me, and I hope that you guys will stick around and watch more, because I'm excited, and I'm excited to share this season with you guys. So I will be uploading the episode reaction later today, so if you want to check that out, link should be in the description and at the end of this video, you know, on the screen, if you're watching this after I've already uploaded that. If you're watching this immediately after I upload this video, you might have to wait a little bit, because I did talk for so long. It's going to take a bit to edit, so forgive me. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this video and that you'll check out the episode reaction when it is released. So on to the video. Oh. Wow, I love the piano keys. The artwork is so beautiful. Look at her. This looks like Frieren before the journey. Oh, it feels so fitting for the series. Oh, there they are. It's been too long. Oh, wow, this is like an ending focusing on them, or an opening, sorry. I love it. Oh, and that was the funeral. That was the whole journey just shown in little glimpses there. Little flashes, and there's his flower. Oh, Mrs. Green Apple, really? Wow. Wow. This is so beautiful. I love this. Look at them with their flower crowns. It reminds me of episode 4, was it? Wow, that opening was so stunning. Like, I'm recording this opening, you know, kind of analysis after watching the entire episode, so forgive me, I have to kind of go back and get myself into that that mindset of where I was when I watched it. But I was surprised it was Miss Green Apple, first of all, because anything I've heard from them so far has been kind of like exciting. Not that this wasn't exciting, but you know what I mean, like it kind of gets you up there, whereas this one was like a really beautiful little like tune. Like it really was very Frieren at its core, where it felt very much like Yorishika's opening from the second half of season 1, where it like kind of felt empowering and it felt very emotive, I would say. Like I'm not entirely sure how to completely describe what I'm trying to say here, but yeah, everything about it was so stunning. You know, we start with seeing Frieren, of course, kneeling down in this field of flowers, and she does look rather lost, alone. Like, you know, her face, there's nothing really there, no expression on her face, and the clothes that she's wearing, it's what's making me wonder if maybe this was before she was employed by the Party of Heroes, because she's just kind of wearing like a long, plain, like tunic looking thing. Like I'm not entirely sure, like a long plain dress. You know, it very much looks like she's kind of just alone, like she's not doing anything, and she's out here like in this field of flowers, which was her master's favorite spell. And so this is maybe her keeping that legacy and memory on. Like we don't see Flame within this opening, but maybe this is kind of telling us that this is where she was at that point in time. She's very like just down because of the passing of Flame, perhaps. Or maybe this is after she was with the Party of Heroes, and this is kind of her just like the way she was after that, where after the funeral and everything, or maybe even before the funeral. This is maybe like prior to when she returned, and this is where she's like just going and doing random things, and she's not feeling anything in life because this is just normal for her. Or if this is after Himmel's very unfortunate passing, this could be kind of an expression kind of showing us that she still kind of feels nothing and doesn't understand how humans feel, because their emotions and everything, and she doesn't understand humans still, which is what she said at the funeral she wanted to learn and wanted to get better at. So yeah, there's a few ways you can interpret that. I'm not really sure where Frieren is in her life during this little moment in the opening. Don't think it's super important, but it is really, really important in telling that when she looks up, it shows the title screen, and the screen turns really blue, which of course is a sign of Himmel the hero. I can't remember the exact interpretation or translation, I guess, but I believe Himmel's name translates to something like blue skies or clear skies. So of course, anytime you see clear blue skies, it's Himmel watching over us. It's Himmel doing what he does best. And very telling that the screen goes from dark to very bright, and her whole life looks to light up as soon as Himmel appears. And then of course, like the saddest thing about this opening, and my favorite parts of this opening maybe are the scenes where we see her with the Party of Heroes, because we need more of that. We need more of Frieren traveling with that whole gang. And the saddest part though about it, like I was alluding to, is that these moments flash by so fast, and before you know it, they're gone. That 10 years that they were traveling together are gone, much like as it is represented in this opening. And it's represented so masterfully here, kind of tells you that story, because you see them like it flashes so fast. You see them walking towards the castle, where I presume this is where they were going to beg for funds, and they were given like 3 copper pieces or something. So it shows them doing that, and then it flashes so quickly to them walking towards Ende, just to show how fast that journey ended. It ended as soon as it began for Frieren. But of course, before it shows them heading towards Ende, it does show several other glimpses of other moments during their journey. And I love it so much. Like, these little moments are very clearly important because they're being shown to Frieren. Like, they're important to her. But seeing them in such short glimpses, it really does tell you so much about where she is, because this opening, it does seem to be kind of telling you that story about how she views things. And, her life doesn't slow down at all. Like, it's the same as ever. And showing the 2 meteor shower scenes back to back, like in snap succession, that was cruel. That was very mean, because, it just hurts to see them age so. But of course, the only one that you see visibly aging in that scene is Himmel the hero, because Hyder is looking out towards the meteor shower, so you don't really see him. And Eisen also looking out there, and he doesn't look to have aged much anyway. Frieren has not aged in appearance whatsoever. And then immediately after that meteor shower scene, of course, we get to see the funeral of Himmel the hero, followed then by Frieren standing in this open, vast area where all there is her reflection from down below and a single petal on the floor. And that petal, of course, representing the flower. I can't remember the name of it. Please forgive me. It's been a while since I've seen episode 3. I think it was 3. I know I said 4 earlier. I think it was 3. I'm also losing my voice. That's not good. I'm only talking about the opening. I haven't even talked about the ending or episode yet. Yeah, that petal obviously representing Himmel, because it's his favorite flower. And of course, flowers are very, very important in this series, because it's Flame's favorite spell is conjuring a field full of flowers. And I can't remember exactly, but I feel like it's also probably Frieren's favorite spell. Forgive me if that's something really obvious that I'm forgetting. It's just been a while. The fact that that's all that we see, like that's all. And then immediately after that, when she bends down and picks it up, we see Fern and Stark walking alongside Frieren. It's beautiful. It tells you so much, because then the scenes start to slow down, she is living life in the now. It's no longer little glimpses, little flashes. She is slowing down, she is learning, she is understanding humans, and she is growing so much. And it's all thanks to Himmel the hero, the legacy he left behind. And that petal represents that legacy that he left behind for Frieren. We see them wearing little flower crowns, which is so nice to see. And it reminds me yet again of all the way back in episodes, one of the early episodes, 3, 4, something like that, where, of course, Frieren had presumably conjured up a field full of flowers around a location of the goddess, I believe. Was it the goddess? I can't exactly remember, but there was an elven figure anyway there. Of course, that is where Frieren, I think, learned about Himmel's favorite flower, and in the background you could see Heither and Eisen being little goofballs, making flower crowns and everything like that. So it's reminding me a lot of that. But a few things that you see little glimpses of other figures within the series. So one of them that we see is obviously Virbel. They're traveling by boat and everything, by sea, and Virbel looks to be seasick. And then we see a statue of someone we have not met yet. And seeing this statue, it's making me think, is this the person that was traveling with Kraft? We don't know who that was. You know, of course, we had Kraft and the unknown other figure that Kraft was traveling with. I'm wondering if this is that guy. It could be anyway, because this is one of the figures that inspired Guerrilla Warrior and Goatee Priest, of course, to go out and, well, Guerrilla Warrior more than Goatee Priest. Goatee Priest stayed behind to go forth and go on this adventure that they went on. And of course, Zine is on his way to try to meet with Gorilla, which I hope that is a fruitful journey for Zine. Seeing this figure, making me think, might be that guy, because his name has been forgotten, I guess. So we'll see. Could also be another figure that we don't know at all. There are surely other statues in this world. You know, there's been mention of other powerful and like really important characters. I can't remember, but all the way back, I think during the scene where Eisen and Frieren went to like the tree area, there was like that episode anyway. There was mention of like a really powerful character who couldn't defeat someone. I can't remember who it was or what it was, but there's mention of another really powerful character in that scene, and I wonder if that's who this is as well. Then maybe there's correlation, maybe there's connection there, but maybe this is also just someone else entirely, because the statue has oxidized, so it's been there for some time. We see several characters we don't know, and then a really interesting scene that we do see. And I wonder if this is something that's maybe spoiling something to come in the future, but we see Methode with that one guy who was one of the guys, I can't remember his name, but he was one of the people that was at the trial, and he was kind of looked like he was one of the head honchos, the trials, you know, like the Magic Association, whatever they call themselves. I can't remember, it's been too long. So that's making me question then if Methode has been brought into that group that, well, obviously being first class mages, they kind of are part of that, but maybe she has gone deeper into that and she's now like one of them, like she's, I don't know, does what I'm saying make sense? Really curious to see that, because that guy, I did not like him, I did not trust him at all. So seeing Methode there, who I was also very cautious of throughout that whole arc, making me think. Another thing about that scene with Methode and the other guy, it looks like there's a lot of dead people there, and this looks to be a church. Like, I don't know what this is. It's very ominous and foreboding. Yeah, and the way the light's coming in as well, I don't know, just something about the whole thing is very creepy, and yeah, I don't like it. But yeah, it is a really beautiful opening, and yeah, Ms. Green Apple did a phenomenal job here. It was very beautiful. Like, I don't know any other word to describe it than beautiful. And of course, Miss Green Apple had an incredible 2025. I remember seeing that of the top like 10 songs from Japan that were streamed on, I think it was Spotify, Miss Green Apple had like 7 of them. So they had a huge 2025. And you know, of course, they also did an opening for Apothecary Diaries last year. So seeing that Frieren has snagged them for an opening for season 2, Frieren being one of the biggest anime currently in today's landscape, that tells you a lot. And of course, Madhouse probably has connections, right? But yeah, Miss Green Apple are much bigger than I actually thought. I had no idea they were as big as they were, and getting them for this is huge. And also the fact that they produced such a beautiful song for such a beautiful series with such beautiful animation, also massive. And I really appreciate what they did here. It was incredible. Oh, the episode's over? Wow, look at this. Is that milet again? That is stunning. Story has only just begun. That it has. Wow. This is stunning. Oh, and he's writing his adventure down and like for the future to read. Wow, the wings. The Story of Us by milet. Wow. Was that like a zebra lion? What was that? Showing her age with like dinosaur remains. That's insane. This is such a beautiful ending. milet, of course, in the background, so stunning. I love her voice. Aww. That was incredible. I love that so much. When it comes to the ending, do I need to say much more than milet did it again? Of course she did. I'm so glad milet is back. That was kind of like my biggest wish for Frieren. I wanted Yorishika, but more importantly, I did want milet back. I wanted to hear another milet ending because that ending for Frieren, it moved me so much, so many different times. An episode would end and that ending song and the ending visuals would just crush me, and it moved me so many times, especially sometimes off the back of certain episodes. It really did hit harder than others. So I know I've already said that milet did a beautiful job here, but also please down below let me know the name of the animator who's responsible for this ending, because this is truly one of the, maybe the most beautiful endings I have ever seen. Full stop. Like maybe the most beautiful. It's really up there with some of the other greatest, most beautiful endings that I've ever seen. Just to name one other series out there that has beautiful anime endings for, you know, similar reasons to this one, that they employ a very unique animation style that isn't often seen, being of course the Mob Psycho 100 endings. They're equally as beautiful as this one because they're done in such a unique way. And yeah, I don't know what I can say about this. It very much looks like kids drawings or something, or like, I don't know. I wish I could explain the feelings that seeing this art style makes me feel, because it makes me feel almost nostalgic. It makes me feel like a child again. It makes me feel so happy. It is just so stunning. And yeah, it's reminding me of like kids books and everything. Like there's just so many feelings associated with this kind of art style that it is so incredible. And I'm so glad that this was done in such a beautiful and artistic, unique way. And like I said, please let me know the animator's name, because not that I'm gonna make a video to thank them or to congratulate them or anything, but I would just love to know, because that's something that, you know, Pinezino does include very often, because sometimes he'll just include it, then sometimes I'll ask and he'll share because he already has that ready. Because yes, this is truly spectacular. Like the last time I was so blown away by the visual style or the visual look of an ending was probably when I checked out the Nichijou ending very recently on the channel. That video was also on the channel. Like I'll probably link it below or something. It's blah, blah, blah. Go check it out if you want. But that Nichijou ending, that visual look and visual style, you know, KyoAni, of course, obviously masters of the game, but don't discount Madhouse as well. You know, like Madhouse have consistently, especially with Frieren, produced some of the most stunning endings I have seen. Period. Full stop. And yeah, obviously you could also look at season one's visuals and talk about those. They were so unique, both endings there, both visual styles that were present, you know, one being kind of like stop motion and the other being kind of similar to this, I would say, you know, with like the colored pencil strokes, I guess, but this one does look a lot more child drawing, like child, not like a child's drawing, but like you would see it in like a child's book or coloring book or something. So it's not even the fact that this is drawn in such a beautiful way, but it's the fact that it's also animated, which blows my mind. I can already tell you this is going to be one of my favorite endings in anime of the entire year of 2026. And I feel like that's both bias, but also just like, you know, of course it's going to be. You know, the bias comes from the fact that it's a series that I'm watching, so I'm obviously going to have an attachment to series that I've watched that have endings, openings, whatever it happens to be, that I love dearly. But yeah, this is also just such a beautiful, incredible ending that even if I wasn't watching the series, I could tell you that this would rank very, very highly in my favorites. I can't say it's going to be my favorite because the whole year is still to come, but in terms of visuals, this may very well be the best that we're going to see all year. But then there's plenty more to come, so I'm not going to say that with such confidence. And as Himmel is writing, it makes me question, because I don't believe there's ever been any mention of Himmel releasing, you know, like a book with their travels and everything, like writing a book. Like I don't remember that ever being mentioned. If it was, forgive me, because I can imagine he would have documented everything. Like that does seem very Himmel-esque, both in terms of, you know, wanting to document the best times of his life, because he does very much love and adore these years and these travels that he's been on. Like that's been no secret. But also there is that vanity aspect, because Himmel obviously wants statues of himself and he wants to be beautiful and everything. But I think a part of that as well, it doesn't necessarily come from being vain, but also like wanting to be remembered. I think that might be a part of it, and that might also be why he's writing this, because he wants to be remembered. And I wonder if he's writing this for Frieren. I wonder if at some point Frieren will find this book that he has been writing, that he wrote, because he does look up after writing and then it immediately shows Frieren. So yeah, one can only assume, right? And the really, really crazy thing about this ending as well, it sounds like a sequel to that first ending. I don't know how they did it, because like, and I mean like the first part of this first ending, like I know there's two parts, and the second part was a lot more emotionally driven, I would say. Like there was more sadness to the sound of it. But this ending, the second ending, start of the journey, I can't remember the name of it, forgive me, it does very much sound like it's almost like a sequel to that first part of the ending. Not only because of Milet's voice being there, but you know, some of the instrumentation and the drumming beat kind of like, it reminds me of it. Like, I'm not saying it's a similar sound, it's the exact same sound, but it is familiar, which I appreciate. You know, I love a good motif, and like if I can recognize this motif of like the drumming beat that reminds me of Anything Anywhere, I think it was called. I'm already forgetting. Plus also this one, I love that. But you know, like you do see a lot of scenes where Frieren is alone. She is by herself and she's just doing very mundane things. She's cooking food. She's holding a light. I don't know what this light scene represents, but it does linger on it for quite a bit. But it does show her traveling alone for quite some time. And then immediately following that, we see a scene of Frieren walking away with her little briefcase, of course, suitcase. And behind her, you see a huge shadow that she's casting, which shows wings. that look like butterflies. You know, butterflies obviously representing a freedom and representing beauty and grace. And Frieren, I'm not sure I would really say embodies beauty and grace, but she does have a certain freedom in her life. You know, this freedom of age and this freedom of growing older than others. And she goes wherever she pleases, does what she wishes, but also butterflies very much are used as symbols to represent Fern. So I wonder if this is showing us, even at this stage where she was traveling before she had even met Fern, that Fern was going to be very important in her life, because this shadow cast behind her could be used to represent Fern. Maybe Fern is being represented in a symbolic way here, where she's not being shown in the series, where in this ending, and maybe Stark is also shown in such a way within this ending that represents him. I'm not sure, but I do think it's really beautiful. I love it so much. And another reason I'm thinking it maybe represents Fern is because it is kind of almost bluish purplish, and of course Fern with her purple hair, that's the color we most associate with her. Followed then by one of the most incredible moments in this whole thing, where we see the seasons change around her, represented by the trees, of course, nature changing around her. And yeah, the whole thing is panning, it's beautiful, it's animated so well. And then of course that's when we start to see the animals running around her, and one of the interesting things is I screamed out during it. I was like, is that a zebra lion? I don't know where I got lion from. It looks more like a deer or something. But I was like, I feel like that is an animal. So I just looked up right now what it's called. And, the animal I was thinking of was an okapi. But okapi, from the images that I'm seeing, at least on Google, maybe that's not entirely representative of that animal. But, okapis don't have the neck being zebra-esque. It's more in the behind, like the back areas, and within this ending we see the zebra head being the stripy one. So I don't know if this is an entirely different animal. I don't know if this is an animal exclusive to Frieren, but yeah, very curious. Not that it's super important, but it definitely did have me scratching my head. And there's a huge emphasis on flowers within this ending, which we know are very important. I talked about it during the opening analysis, so I'm not really going to talk about it again, but obviously flowers super important within the series. And seeing them fly around her the entire time, it's incredible. I love it because they represent so much in her life. And it's really interesting that within this ending we don't see Fern or Stark necessarily, so like at all, like physically. So yeah, very interesting. But we do get some beautiful shots of her flying and conjuring the field of flowers and everything. So stunning. And at the end she turns into a bird, metaphorically, and flies away, which then leads to one of her feathers falling onto the book that was used to write and document the story and the journey of Frieren and the gang. So yeah, what an incredibly beautiful ending. I'm so glad we were able to check this one out, because holy shit, Frieren never disappoints when it comes to openings and endings. And this opening and ending for season 2 blew me away. Incredible job, incredible work on all fronts. And yeah, I don't think we're going to get a second opening ending, because from my understanding this is going to be like a 12 episode season. But yeah, we'll check it out anyway if there is another one, of course. And it'll surprise me just as much as it might surprise some others. But wow, incredible work here. Amazing. I loved it so much. If you guys want to check out my Frieren opening and ending reaction for season 1, feel free to check out the video. It'll be at the end of this. You can click on the screen somewhere and it'll be in the description down below. I would appreciate it if you want to check out my season 1 reactions. You can check that also. Will be on the screen somewhere, the entire playlist. And of course you can hit down below. I will share that in the description as well. And of course I will be uploading Frieren reactions weekly. I cannot wait. I'm so glad that we're back. So you can feel free to check those out. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up this opening ending video. I will be immediately talking about the episode itself. I'm out of breath, my throat's starting to hurt, but we got so much more we need to talk about. So if you want to check that one out, that video will be coming very soon. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Not going to do my whole usual spiel for wrapping up a video, because this is just kind of a bonus. So yeah, feel free to check out that video for the episode reaction when it comes out. I would really appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great day today. Thank you for watching. Take care.